Your identity affects your wealth. Hi, my name is Dr. Shola, and I am a physician, an entrepreneur, a life and executive coach, an author, a speaker. I do many things, and I'm many other things to many people. So today, I'm going to be talking about how your identity affects your wealth. Your identity is who you are being. And please watch my videos or listen to my podcast on identity. I've done a lot of work on identity. I've written a whole book. You can even buy my book. It's called Free to Be, The Empowered Woman's Handbook. I dare say it's not just from women. Men can learn a lot from it too. But your identity, who you are being, affects your wealth. And now my woo-woo people will be like, yay, finally. My more data-driven people like, oh, what are you talking about? So you mean that, oh, if I suddenly decide, oh yeah, I'm rich, I'll suddenly be rich? Not that simple. There's quite a lot of nuance to this. Let's dive in. So now, I talk a lot about having a sovereign identity versus a victim identity, or an employee identity, or a pleaser identity. And I go into all of those things in my book. Buy the book and, or listen to my other podcasts on identity. But what I want to say most importantly is that what you believe about money affects how you make money, affects how you spend money, affects how you keep money. And a lot of what we believe about money comes from what we believe about ourselves and what we've learned about money along the way. For example, some people believe they're not good with money. If you believe in a sense of, oh, and you assume and you just know that you're not good with money. Guess what will happen if I give you $1 million today? You will not spend that money right. A lot of times people think that if only I had a lot of money, I would be able to solve all my problems. Believe me, I think that too sometimes. Okay. If somebody were to give me $1 billion, there have been countless lottery winners who won tens of millions of dollars, of pounds, and in less than a year, they were back where they were before they won the lottery. The most famous one was the Lotto Lout. That's what they called him in England. He won what I believe at the time was the equivalent of $97 million. And you know what this boy used to do? He would buy burgers at the local McDonald's, right? Lots of burgers. And he would sit in his council flat and start hurling those burgers at people. Who you are is who you are, and what you do is what you do. Now, I'm not saying you should change your personality or do a personality transplant, but start to think of how the ways in which some of the things you believe and do affect the way you behave around money. I grew up knowing, oh, money doesn't grow on trees. So that created a scarcity mentality. So it was almost like, oh, you never had enough money. In one of my videos, you'll see that I talked about money fights and how my parents used to fight about money. So money was the thing that brought contention and stress and fighting. Had I not worked on my mindset, thinking that, oh, money brings stress, I would have found so many ways to repel money from me because I don't want to bring fighting and stress. Some people believe that, if they make money, that they're not going to be good people anymore. If you think that money is bad, you're never going to have any of it. Or if you think all rich people are bad, all this blanket statements, all rich people are bad, all this, all that. So they are bad rich people, they are bad poor people, whatever. Who you are. Now, another point I want to make about identity is that who you are affects the way you see the world and the way you act and the way you see opportunities and possibilities. Have you met those people who would tell you without investigating that almost everything is a scam? Oh, have you heard about this new Yeah, it's a scam. Have you done something AI? It's a scam. Oh, I'm thinking of investing in short-term rentals. That's just a scam. we've all met people like that. And here's the thing, those people are almost never wealthy. Now, I'm not saying don't vet things before you go into them. You have to do your due diligence, and you have to do your due diligence all the time. Just because an opportunity sounds good does not mean it's good. But there is a way scarcity mentality can affect us, or what I like to call, I don't like to use that term so much, but I would call it poverty trauma in some ways. It affects us in such a way that we become so closed off, so careful, so skeptical, so cynical that we miss opportunities that are standing right in front of our face. And it's because of who we are. Now, take the person who vets things, doesn't see everything as a scam. Okay, I'll take my time, I'll look into this. All of a sudden, you find that, oh, these opportunities come their way, they're lucky, blah, blah, blah. They may not necessarily be lucky. It may just be the fact that they see life through a different lens. So instead of seeing life through a lens of everybody's out to get me, they see life through a lens of pronoia. Everything is working for my good. Changing the way you see yourself changes the way you see the world. And when you change the way you see the world, you can obtain, like some people say, attract different types of opportunities. Have you noticed that whenever let's say you buy a new car, a couple of years ago, bought a new car, and all of a sudden, I started seeing the same car everywhere. It was like, oh wow, did everybody go to the same shop as I did and just bought the same car on the same day? No. Your brain is constantly filtering things that it deems unimportant. Because if we were to absorb into consciousness every single stimulus that came our way, we would be overloaded. So the brain filters out things that, it deems not important. That part of the brain that does that is called the reticular activating system. So it is scientific. And how that works for us or against us is in a place of confirmation bias. If you think certain things all the time or you're a certain way, those are the things you're going to continue to see. If you think everything is a scam, you're going to see a lot of scams. But if you're like, you know what? There's opportunities. There was an affirmation. I interrupt myself, but there was an affirmation I used to say to myself a long time ago. Exciting opportunities appear for me every day. And that conditioned my mind to start looking for opportunities, looking for connections, looking for, new things to do and new things to get into. And it's changed my life in so many ways. Because let me tell you something. The thing you're looking for, that thing that's going to be that second stream of income or not your salary, etc., it's not going to be in the things you already know. The thing you are looking for is going to be in the things you don't know. So develop a different identity. Someone who, you know what? I know life works out for me. I know that, well, things may not look like what I want them to look like right now, but of course they're going to get better. Of course I'm supported. Of course I'm loved. Of course I'm sovereign. And like I said in one of my videos, when it comes to your money, you need to start becoming a bit more self-absorbed. And here's what I mean. Many people like to complain about the government. So we're complaining about the government. What are we doing? We're focusing on the government. We're complaining about the politicians. We're complaining about our employer. We're complaining about how prices have gone up. But what are we focusing? The government, the prices, the employer, this. We're not focusing on ourselves. How about we turn that energy inward with a more empowered identity and say, this is my life. What am I going to do next? Your identity affects your wealth. The way you see yourself affects the way you see life, the way you see others, and the way you see opportunities and possibilities. If this resonated with you, give me a comment and tell me what you think. Like I said, some people might find it woo, and some people might feel, yeah, this makes sense. This is scientific. So yes, let us start to think differently about who we are and how we're showing up in the world. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.